Speed is a combination of the distance we travelled and how long it took us to do that. So, for example, if we did the trip to Sydney, roughly 300 kilometres in 3.5 hours, yeah, that's about right. If we did it in 45 minutes, that's pretty fast. I think we must be flying. If we did it in 15 hours, that's pretty slow. Maybe we're driving a Volvo or something. So speed, how fast we're going, is how far we travelled in how much time. Now obviously, if I'm driving to Sydney, I don't go at the same speed the whole way. I'd speed up, I'd slow down. So usually what we're finding is the average speed over our whole journey. And the formula for average speed is distance travelled divided by the time taken. And we'll usually give this in either distance in kilometres and time in hours, so we get units of kilometres per hour, or we might measure the distance in metres and the time in seconds, so we'd get units of metres per second. Now we abbreviate this formula down to speed equals distance over time, just like that. So when I'm asked to calculate average speed, for example for these, I would write the formula, speed equals distance over time, substitute the values, speed equals 300 kilometres over 3.5 hours. Sorry, I'm just doing this top one. And we get our calculator. 300 divided by 3.5 equals 85.7. And see how I've got kilometres over hours here? That gives me the unit of kilometres per hour. Or you can leave the units out here if you want and just put the right unit there. So this is how we find average speed. Write the formula, substitute the values, and calculate with units. Put units on the end. Now, we can also use simplifying rates, the way we've done that so far. So I'll do one of the next questions in a different way. So types of questions we might get. Find the average speed in kilometres per hour. Oh, sorry, there's an extra question there. Here we go. The average speed in kilometres per hour of a cyclist who travels 140 kilometres in 5 hours. So the two different options are to simplify the rate or use the formula. So simplifying the rate, we'd write 140 kilometres in 5 hours, and then we'd divide by the second number, 5, to get how many kilometres in 1 hour. 140 divided by 5, 28 kilometres in 1 hour, and so I give my answer of 28 kilometres per hour. So you might find you prefer this method for finding the average speed, and that's fine. You write your rate, you simplify it, and you give your answer. Or we could write the formula. Speed equals distance over time. The speed is the distance of 140 divided by 5 the time. So see, we're actually doing the same thing. We're dividing 140 by 5. So speed is 28 kilometres per hour. So it's totally up to you which of these methods you use. Find the average speed in kilometres per hour of a runner who travels 3 kilometres in 15 minutes. Two possible methods. 3 kilometres in 15 minutes. Now, it's not just dividing by 15 minutes now. You could if you wanted, but we want to get up to 60 minutes. So you can look at it and say, how many lots of 15 minutes? That's not an easy one. Oh yeah, 4 lots of 15 minutes. So I could just times both sides by 4 to get up to 12 kilometres in 1 hour, 60 minutes. Or we can come down to 1 minute and then up to 60 minutes for 1 hour, because we've got to get an answer in kilometres per hour. So there's a couple of different options there. Let's go with kilometres for 1 minute. And that's going to be 3 divided by 15, which is not going to be a very big number. 0.2 kilometres in 1 minute. And I want to get it up to 60 minutes, which is an hour. So I was dividing by 15 there. And I'm going to times by 60 to get up to an hour. Sorry, I'm getting a bit messy there. So that's 0.2 times 60 is 12 kilometres in 60 minutes. So that's 12 kilometres per hour. So you're quite okay to do that. Or, if you prefer, we use the formula. We'd have to change 15 minutes into hours. 15 minutes, now that's a quarter of an hour, or I can work it out as 15 divided by 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, and with the calculator, 15 divided by 60, 0.25, which is a quarter. So I'm changing my time into hours, and then using speed equals distance over time. Distance was 3 kilometres divided by time, which was 0.25 hours. So speed equals 3 divided by 0.25, which is 12 hours. 12 kilometres per hour. My bad. So you've got the option of using your rate and working it out by multiplying and dividing, or using the formula. Either one is just fine.